Hey guys, Brian here with Going Tiny. So earlier today I recorded a video of finishing the painting of the trailer. It's nothing exciting, but it's all painted black with some rust preventative paint. It was a generic version, but supposedly the same manufacturer of Rust-Oleum, just labeled Ace Hardware brand rust stopper. But my research showed that it's the exact same thing, exact same manufacturer, just relabeled, kind of like the Walmart version of stuff. But here I'm starting on the floor framing, and it's decent weather out. It's partly cloudy. Looks like rain's may be coming soon, but probably in the 80s when typically right now it's over 100, so I won't complain. But I figured to go over some specs. You won't see me in the video directly. I'll just be narrating. 2x4. It is Douglas fir wood, I believe. I don't know if that really matters, or it depends on what region in the world you're at. But I've got it from a local lumber yard, and the good thing about them is they tend to make sure the wood's a little bit more straight. Their quality control's better, and they also don't have people picking through the pallets and leaving only the crappy bent wood left. So of the 6 pieces I grabbed to do this section, only one was bent enough I didn't want to use it on the exterior. I'll still use it to run across, but I didn't want to set my exterior wall to it. So what I've done is I've already drilled the holes in the frame. Total just judgment call here, no expert, but on the front of the trailer would catch the most wind if I were pulling down the road. I did 6 holes for leg bolts. So I drilled through the metal, and once I get the plywood on the bottom of the framing, I'll drill up into the wood and then put the leg bolts in. But I wanted to get through the metal because that's the hardest part, because the wood will drill pretty easily. And then from there I did, I think I did 4 in this next row. I have room. There's some random small holes there I can use to drill out bigger. So I could do 5, but this one has 4 holes. And most of them I maintained at least 4. Here in the section between the wheel wells, I want 3 each. I figured the weight of the house is, I shouldn't say the weight of the house, but it's not like it's on the edge, catching the wind, going down the road. So it may need more later, and I can add them later. It just wouldn't be very fun to do. The back here is where it gets a little tough because it's a dovetail trailer, and these beams are a little bit smaller and not quite as sturdy, but I did get the outer planks. So this one actually has 5, which may be redundant because in the middle there it's I can't even talk, sorry guys. Fairly flimsy, that's a tongue twister for me, and it may be pointless to even have a leg bolt there because I may rip off the metal before I ever keep the house down. And then back here is where it gets tough, because this is actually 2 layers of 1.5 inch box steel, and I started a hole there, and my bit's like 1/4 inch too short, so I could go up through the bottom too, but I don't know, I'm just not going to worry about it yet. And it's spend too much time trying to figure it out. I'll just wait till I get there. Because it is a dovetail, I'll have to do wedges. Originally I was thinking of cutting a 2x4 at the correct angle to shimmy there, but then I figured it doesn't matter because I'll have to go this way because that's what's supporting the weight. So I'll have to cut some 2x4s to the right width, which probably won't be much of anything. I may be better off getting 2x6s and cutting them down so I'm not double stacking and having a thin wood that may break out. So that's where we're at. I'm going to show you some of the screws I've put in. Up front, I'm doing 2x4s, primarily again because of the potential wind encountered, and to nail the front wall down to, so I have more places to nail to. I'm debating on the side. I don't think I will because I'll have the 2x4s going this way to catch screws as well. So I think the outside I'll just leave 1. And then I interlocked them kind of like Lincoln logs, try to get the most grip. I am using a, hopefully my video isn't too boring for you with stirring up the gravel. 8 by 2.5 inch deck screws. These are what I use to laminate the 2 sheets together, and I use 3 inches when I'm going in at an angle here, or straight through the end to catch more wood. They are treated. Figured I spent more money, but I figured I'd rather do it once than deal with rusty nails later. So they're treated, and they claim they last 4 times as long as traditional screws. The better option would have been stainless steel screws, I believe. I'm not a metal expert, but those were 4 times the cost. I think this box of, they claim about 100, was $10, and the stainless steel was $35 for the same amount. So wasn't gonna do that. These are Robertson drives, as most people call them, square drives, and I'm using an impacting wrench here. With that long of a screw, it really bogs down the motor on a traditional screwdriver. The downside is there's no torque sensing in the way an impact drill works. So this one actually, this screw, I sucked in too far because I wasn't paying attention. So it's something you have to be careful about. You have to be more aware with this. The advantage to this is, even though it's an impacting drill, people think it like creates a hammer action, and that's not true, at least in the way of hitting in and out. The way it works is, as it spins, it kind of, I don't have a diagram, I wouldn't know how to explain the actual physical internals of it, but as I was explaining in several YouTube videos and doing some research, is it's as if you have a big wrench on the end of the screw and you're hitting it with a hammer. So this just rapidly bangs around a big nut to spin it in. So it doesn't create any in and out action, but it gets to the wood. It just sucks in no time. You don't have any issues like you do with the traditional drill. But the downside is you got to pay attention because I screwed it up a little bit. So I guess into the cross beams, and I'll get this floor framed out pretty quick. I'm thinking it's going a hell of a lot quicker than I thought. I didn't do any framing diagrams for this. I'm measuring and cutting as I go. I thought it was going to be tough because a lot of it was coming down to when I actually got wood on here. So I could be doing this totally wrong as far as an engineer or architect's mind frame, but I figured for me it's easier to figure out as I go. So hopefully get it framed out. I doubt with the weather looks like it's coming in, I'll get the plywood underneath it. But I'll get it framed out, I think, today. And I bought a big tarp to throw over it and tie down. Since we've had so much weather, I don't want to deal with wet wood. So this is probably the longest video I've had in a while, going on 7 minutes. So apologize if it's a little boring, but wanted to give you some of the overview and some of the I guess we could call them technical details with the deck screws and using the impacting driver. I didn't mention the reason why I went with the square drives. They're more and more popular, and I actually used to work on boats. I'll show you. They're literally a square. Oh, now I'm dropping it. A square in it. If I can get the camera to focus. There we go. So it's a square. And again, technically they're called the Robertson drive, but almost everybody calls them a square drive now. But if they rust over, you can still get them out. Unlike Phillips or slotted drive, if they rust over, you're usually doomed. So that's the reason why I went with them. Plus, they're more and more popular, just because of that huge advantage. Corrosion doesn't prevent them from coming out. So, alrighty, well, I'm on over 8 minutes, so I apologize, guys. There should be several videos coming out here, hopefully by the end of this weekend. Get caught up. It's just the videos, I like recording them, but it's so low of priority to actually get them on YouTube and share them with you guys. But again, I appreciate all you guys' support. I've gotten a lot of feedback, a lot of new followers in the last couple weeks, so I appreciate it. Please keep subscribing and sharing, just to build the community. I don't have anything to sell, but it's just nice to get more and more people commenting and giving me ideas, people pointing out problems. So, alrighty, guys, have a good day.